Welcome along. We start with breaking news from Leicester City and the man they've been chasing to become their new manager, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Let's go straight to our reporter, Dan Khan. He's live for us, Dan, with some big breaking news.
The news we've been building up to throughout the day is now confirmed. Ruud van Nistelrooy has been named the new Leicester City manager. This comes just 5 days after the club sacked Steve Cooper, but they've acted swiftly to appoint his replacement, and that is Ruud van Nistelrooy. He has signed a contract until June 2027, and he'll be taking charge of his first match on Tuesday evening when Leicester take on West Ham. He was always Leicester's top candidate, preferred choice. The chairman, Koen Top, and director of football, John Rudkin, really identified him as the man they wanted in charge of Leicester. Their official statement cites the progress he made at PSV, working through the age groups there, then as their full-time manager, leading them to second, as well as winning the Dutch Cup, as well as the Super Cup, and then also his time at Manchester United, we saw very recently, beating Leicester twice during that 4-game stint as their interim coach. And as I mentioned, really Koen Top identified Ruud van Nistelrooy as their number one choice, and now they've got him confirmed as the new Leicester City manager.
Dan, what's been said by the key people in this story?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got some quotes by both of them. And if we start with the new Leicester City manager, Ruud van Nistelrooy, he's had this to say: "I'm proud, I'm excited. Everybody that I speak to about Leicester City is enthusiastic. They have great stories about the quality of the people working at the club. The supporters and, of course, the recent history of the club is impressive. I'm excited to start and to get to know everyone and give everything I can for the football club." And as I mentioned, Koen Top really identified Ruud van Nistelrooy and really made this his own personal choice to get him at the club. And this is what he had to say about his new appointment: "It is my pleasure to welcome Ruud to Leicester City. He joins a club with a rich history, passionate supporters and a talented squad, and we are all excited to see the impact he can have as we embark on this new chapter together. Ruud's experience, knowledge and winning mentality will undoubtedly bring great value to us, and we look forward to supporting him and achieving success to our fans and our club."
So that's what's been said, Daniel. We now know that he'll be at tomorrow's game with Brentford, but not to be in charge. He'll just be watching. He will be in charge, as you've said, for that Premier League fixture against West Ham on Tuesday. So then, if you're a Leicester fan, what can you expect from him?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think they saw what he was able to do in those 2 matches I referenced during his 4-game stint as the interim coach at Manchester United. I mean, first of all, in the Carabao Cup game, they won 5-2, then 3-0 in the Premier League. And having spoke to a lot of Leicester City fans over the last week, first of all, I think it was how he carried himself during his press duties, in his news conferences, as well as just on the pitch. A lot of them referenced his enthusiasm, his passion that he showed, and that's something they're really looking forward to, I think. But also, you have to look at what he did at PSV a few years ago, his first coaching job. He spent a season there. He led them to second in the Eredivisie, although he did leave before the final match of the season. He did win 2 trophies there, the Dutch Super Cup, as well as the Dutch Cup as well. But I think if you're a Leicester City fan, you just have to look at the development of players in a short space of time he had at PSV. Players who are playing week in and week out in the Premier League now. The likes of Jared Branthwaite, who spent a season on loan at PSV, is now one of the Premier League stars as centre-back. Noni Madueke, Cody Gakpo, both stars in the Premier League in their own right as well. All 3 players have cited their work under Ruud van Nistelrooy in terms of how much he's improved them as players. And if I'm a Leicester City player, I'm not just looking at Ruud van Nistelrooy, the prolific striker we saw at Manchester United, who also had a stint at Real Madrid, but I'm also looking at what he's been able to achieve in a very short time as a coach. Like I referenced those players at PSV, but also at Manchester United, how he was able in a short space of time to reconnect not just the players but also the fans back to the team. I think that's something that's been missing really in the first 12 games in the Premier League for Leicester at the King Power, which I've been to quite a few games this season. I think that's something the club are really keen on reinforcing and improving this season, as well as results and the style of play. So we'll have to wait and see. Of course, first, Ben Dawson, the first team coach, he takes charge tomorrow against Brentford, but then Ruud van Nistelrooy will have time to really work with the players before his debut as manager at West Ham at the King Power on Tuesday evening. And also worth noting, Jasper, the first time we will hear from Ruud van Nistelrooy will be on Monday when he takes that news conference ahead of West Ham. So overall, you could argue it's a risky move for Leicester in terms of his experience, but in his short sample size, he's shown he can develop players, and he's an exciting, you can't even say young anymore, but a very exciting appointment. And that's what I'm getting from Leicester City fans as well.
Yeah, a few of them behind you as well. Certainly look excited. Daniel, thank you very much. Your patience rewarded. Breaking news, Ruud van Nistelrooy announced as Leicester's new manager. Daniel, thank you.